We have a disturbing gun-related story. I hate that we have yet another one of these. This is about a Georgia man who gunned down and killed a 22-year-old immigrant after his GPS sent him into the wrong driveway. This I originally read this on Raw Story. It's now been widely reported. The individuals involved here are 69-year-old veteran and former missionary Phillip Walker Sailors and 22-year-old immigrant Rodrigo Abad Diaz. Now, this happened in Gwinnett County, Georgia. A faulty GPS sent the 22-year-old into Sailor's driveway. Friends in the car said that they were picking up a friend to go ice skating. After a few minutes of being in the driveway and trying to figure out what's going on, are we in the right place? Are we in the wrong place? What's up with the GPS? The homeowner, Sailors, came out of the house and fired his gun into the air. Question number one, did he have any kind of conversation before firing his gun into the air with the individuals in the car? Did the individuals in the car do anything that would have suggested that they were any kind of a violent threat? The answer to both of those questions, Lewis, is
no.
Obviously not. Sailor made no effort to speak to the group before firing his gun. After firing the gun into the air, Diaz, understandably frantic, tried to get the car turned around and leave. Sailors fired his gun again, a .22 caliber pistol, according to the arrest warrant, and hit Diaz in the side of the head, and then held everybody in the vehicle at gunpoint until police arrived. He is being charged with malice murder, and I got a lot of comments about this saying, listen, the guy's an illegal immigrant. You said it. The article said it. And then I went back and I said, wait a second, let's look at these articles. No, the articles don't say that. The articles indicate that this individual, Mr. Diaz, was an immigrant, not an illegal immigrant. And I think that it's not really a Freudian slip, but certainly kind of an underhanded, an implicit misunderstanding is very telling about a lot of what's going on around the gun issue, Lewis.
Right, and what would it matter if he was an illegal immigrant? He was not there was no act of violence going on. There was no, I don't know.
Let's take it a step further.
I mean, somehow that if he were illegal, this would have been justified.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the underhanded comment there, isn't it, Natan?
It is, but this just makes no sense. I mean, the fact of the matter is that, the right's going to say this guy shouldn't have had a gun, even though they oppose the mechanisms by which he would have been prevented. Or they're going to say that, he had the gun, but he didn't use it properly. He used improper judgment. The fact of the matter is when you have guns, when more people have guns, they think about using their guns in more situations than they would if they didn't have guns, and these things are liable to happen.
Until this day, until the day of this shooting, this individual, Mr. Sailors, was a law-abiding, responsible model gun owner who would not have shown up on any of the mental health databases that are being suggested, presumably. And should Mr. Diaz have had his own gun to defend himself, and then we would have had a shootout situation? Well, maybe he should have. Maybe that's the only way now when you have these so-called responsible gun owners who just walk out of their house firing into the air when somebody pulls into their driveway. Is the situation that bad? But further, a lot of the coded language about guns suggests that immigrants and minorities are really the people we don't want having guns. So do you really think now that it's an honest argument for gun groups to say, well, Mr. Diaz, immigrant minority Mr. Diaz, 22-year-old, he should have had a gun because that's really the solution, when really the idea of a lot of these groups is, that's the problem. The problem is minorities with guns.
Yeah, if the funny thing is, if he had a gun and then shot and killed this guy, let's say this guy missed.
Can you imagine?
And imagine what the story would have been there. It could have very well turned out that they charged him with murder, as if he pulled into the driveway intentionally to murder this guy. Who knows?
Let's say he had a gun and he used it in actual self-defense. Do you think that he's going to really have an easy time with that self-defense claim? I mean, it would be. You're absolutely right. It would be a disaster, given the 22-year-old.
Actually, I think that the right would love for that to have happened. They would then be the champions of the minorities.
Well, it's happening with
their Second Amendment.
It's happening
crusade.
with George Zimmerman. Zimmerman is Hispanic, right?
There you go.
I mean, in a sense, it is happening with Zimmerman. It's a good point. Let's talk about today's bonus show. We'll talk about a rare nickel expected to fetch millions of dollars. We'll talk about a miner being sued by his former employer for filing a discrimination suit. And UK is now thinking over these sugary drink taxes. I want to tell you about a membership special that's going on, Lewis. This weekend is my 29th birthday. I've made it no secret that I'm not thrilled about that, but I am offering something up to our audience. a 29% discount on a David Pakman Show 1-year membership and a David Pakman Show hoodie sweatshirt package. The way to get it is you go to davidpakman.com/29. You have to spell it out, not the number, but the words 29. And then you'll be able to sign up for that. It's a great deal. Check it out. Get the bonus show. Become a member and support the show. Let's take a break. We'll talk about, we have so much coming up, Louis. I don't even want to waste time naming it. Let's get to the break and then get right back into stuff.
Please.
Stay with us.
The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.